Perfect. Hello, Star.
Hello, Angela from across the seas.
Yes, I'm in Paris. You're in California?
I'm in Santa Monica, California. It's a little beach town on the Pacific.
Mm, that's nice. Better weather than in Paris.
Oh, it's lovely here. It's 70 degrees.
Oh, wow. Here it's very cold. But I'm actually from a little town in Valencia, Spain.
Ah,
So I'm used to good weather. So this is a
okay.
bit, yeah.
Mediterranean climate. That's what I have here. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
So I would like to I don't know if you want to present yourself and your work, or I should
Just
present.
ask questions. Ask me questions.
Okay. So I would like to say that I first met you through your program, The Art of the Goddesses.
Okay.
I discovered it a few months, nearly 1 year ago through YouTube. And I was going a bit through a depression, I could say. And meet, thanks to your program and meeting all these women, something changed in me, and it really helped me discover Maureen Murdoch. She's a
Yes.
psychologist that you interviewed, and
Yes.
her books, The Heroine Journey.
Yes.
Yeah, that changed me, and because she was describing exactly what I was going through. So yeah, it really helped me. So I would like to thank you first for your
You're
work. It
very
had an
welcome. You're
impact in
very
me.
welcome.
And I would like to start by asking you, how did this program started? How you became a producer in it and a presenter? And it's funny because I think it's a program that in 2025 it's really relevant,
Oh,
but you
good.
actually started it in 1985.
Uh,
Yes, so how did it came about?
okay. First of all, I want to say that I'm a person who doesn't make plans. I have fate come in upon me. And
Mm-hmm.
one of my dearest friends uh, was president of an artist guild here, and he wanted to do a TV show, The Goddess in Contemporary Art.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman who was going to moderate it was in a car accident. So he asked me. So
Mm-hmm.
I came and I moderated it. And I had never done the TV show or anything. It was like over the abyss, over the cliff into a manifestation of something. And so I did it. And then after that, I realized I could just do it and I would just call it the goddess in art.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went on to do some 25 shows over 4 years. I just decided that I could do it and I did it. And it was a way for me to meet some, of course, these people I knew, but meet all these wonderful scholars and artists and talk with them. Because for me, one of the supreme pleasures of this life is a conversation. And I love a
Yeah.
conversation like we're having now.
Yes. And you already knew all these women?
Some of them I knew because I was in that ambiance or pod that was my affinity group. So some of them I knew, or I knew of their work. I mean, some
Mhm.
of them I knew all of them one way or another, close or distance, and asked them to be on the show.
Okay. And now, looking back, what do you think, apart from having these amazing conversations, what do you think did you learn from all of them? Or did you get any practical advice that you maybe applied in your daily life? Or
Well, I don't know. I'm not the most practical person. I am a
Mhm.
person of least resistance. I like to loaf and be slothful. But what I learned, well, just different aspects of their art or their scholarship, and just to be in the presence of creative people who are on the same wavelength as you are, and some difference, of course. So it was just it was a lot of work, and it's nervous because it's a live TV show, but I never done it, but it was exciting too that I had a platform which I could invite these women and some men in and have a conversation, a concentrated, intentional conversation. I would say the thing I've learned are the most important turning point for me in my journey with the goddess is something I heard when the first time I met Maria Gimbutas. I went to a lecture of hers at UCLA, and there she was with her two slide projectors. A different world, not
Hmm.
these digital, you know, key points. Was when she said that people, humans, had one time lived in peace. This was revolutionary to me. This is the one thing that changed my life and overturned all knowledge of, institutionalized patriarchal um, culture. Because, of course, we're taught that war is inevitable. People are evil. There's always going to be conflict and violence. And this was the single thing that overturned my cosmology.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow. um, it's really interesting. You talked about um, Maria Gimbutas,
Mm-hmm.
of course, and in your book, Sheila Negik, you also talk about her work, no? And I
Yes.
would like to know, how did you, maybe it was thanks to Maria Gimbutas, I don't know, how did you embark in the journey of writing that book? And, you know,
Okay. Well, I just want to say that I was involved in Berkeley in the late 60s as a
mhm,
feminist. I mean, I lived in a small town, the San Francisco Bay, and in 1968, I crossed the Bay Bridge and found the world where I belonged, which
mhm,
was the world of radicalism. It was a wonderful time I mean, it's always good to be young, but at that time, there was so much social um, tumult and this deconstruction of so many social institutions. So,
sorry,
um,
I'm just a question. How were you maintaining yourself while living through all of this?
well, I was a student.
Okay,
I
you
was
were a
a
student.
student at UC Berkeley. I was an
Okay.
English major. I was later on an English professor,
Mm-hmm.
literature. So that's how I was surviving. My parents were supporting me to go to school. So I want to say that I feel the most important psychic event of the 20th century is the return of the goddess,
Mm-hmm.
that she has returned. So it's a zeitgeist. There's something in the air. So I started with feminism and then branched out to wanting images of female empowerment or female divinity. And
Mm-hmm.
and it was in the air. It was just in the air. And then it's just been my lifelong passion and goal to serve the Great Mother. So
Mm-hmm.
so that was one step leads to another, and you meet people. And so that's how it started. It started for me.
I had, before I wrote down a question, what was for you the Great Mother? You know?
The Great Mother is cosmos, nature, everything. She's the
Mm-hmm.
source of all.
And
She's the Go
how do
ahead.
you connect with her?
Oh, well, if you saw my big statues of goddesses over here, I try to feel her support of me in my life. I mean, life is very beautiful, but it's suffering, beauty and suffering. These are
Yeah.
elements of life. I was suffering yesterday in the dentist chair, let me tell you. Um, um, I I try. I mean, I'm just a person with my shadows to feel her support. That she is the ever renewing life force, and to connect with that that energy and that life force as a support, and that she's there. It's whether we can perceive it.
Mm-hmm. And you connect through, as you said, through the maybe images of the goddesses.
Well, images, yeah, for me, images are supreme. Like my Sheila Nagig book has
Yeah.
150 images, and that was a pursuit of that image. And I took that image of sacred display all the way back to the Paleolithic caves,
Yeah.
which I visited a couple of years ago. And you're in France, and you can, in the land of the Paleolithic. I connect through images. I'm also in a women's group or a coven, and we celebrate all the sacred holidays of the year, trying to connect with nature because we're so disconnected from
Mm-hmm.
nature. In fact, the dental assistant yesterday told me he spent Thanksgiving out in the desert looking at the stars, and I thought how alienated we were
Oh
from the
yeah.
stars. I live in Los Angeles, and I mean Santa Monica, and I love it, but we've been cut off from our deep connection to nature. I mean, the cosmos of the sky, we don't get to perceive that anymore.
I know. I'm in Paris and I can see this, that we are very disconnected.
Did you see the super moon the other day on Thursday?
Yes,
That was
yes.
good.
I did, I did.
So I try to, I mean, yes, I'm a now 20, I mean, was born in the 20th century person who is in this advanced industrial state where logic and efficiency rules instead of uh, deeper connections with the imagination and symbols. So yes, I mean, that's in my culture, and I feel like I'm always peeling out layers of patriarchal toxicity. So
Yeah.
I try to look at the ocean. I have tarot cards that I study. Here's my
Uh-huh. You study them.
the Empress.
Wow.
Yes, I do study them because I love images and I love symbols because symbols connect us to the beyond. Symbols is the language of the psyche and the emotions and the imagination because we have a war on the imagination. We've been cut off from thinking in symbolic imagery, which connects us to the deepest parts of ourself
Mm.
instead of all this reason. I'm all for reason, but instead of reason, which everything is causal and efficiency and that's part of it, but that does not nurture us. That does not
Yeah.
connect us to life. So I try all those things. I mean, I'm doing my best.
No, in your book you talk about the imagination,
Yes,
and I was quite interested about it because I do read really spiritual stuff, but I have never read anything about the imagination and the importance of it. And
yes,
I think as we grow older, I think we lose it.
yes, exactly. Because we're sort of trained out of it because the machine of state does
Yeah.
not want independent, imaginative troublemakers or thinkers or artists. They just want dutiful
Yeah,
citizens. But
that's
for
true.
soul,
Yeah.
we have to have the imagination. Otherwise, we just dry up in rationality and efficiency.
Yeah. I well, I was researching you. I really came up like it came from, I don't know, my soul. My soul wrote
Oh,
down my
okay.
no, my soul wrote down, how can your work help young women see their bodies as sacred in a society where right now I think women have more pressure than ever to look a certain way, and we treat each other, or not each other, our bodies as objects. and
Exactly.
and because I think we're disconnected from nature, right? So I
Yes.
was wondering, how can we help young women, or like how can your work help, to see our bodies as sacred, which is your this the images you study is they're showing this, no, that sexuality is sacred. And yeah.
I think what you're saying is so important because even though we've had the right to vote for 100 years or so, 125 years, or um, and these waves of feminism, we still live in this very toxic culture, and now it's ruled by pornography, or now in our country, this unbelievable meanness of spirit, just really uh, terrible lack of empathy. So what's important for women to know is that, first of all, that they are sacred, that their bodies are sacred, and that this overlay of culture right now is just a thin veneer of thousands and millennia of worship of the great power of the goddess, and for them to see sacred images of divine females
Yeah.
and to know that this is part of our culture, which has been suppressed and erased. So, first of all, just to know that they are not second class citizens, you know, they are they are foundations of life and
Mm-hmm.
carry life, and the that they have all these powers, and they're not there just to be brides and serve men, and which is a lot of reaction in the culture right now. Um, First of all, to know that they have a lineage, that there is the power in their bodies to create universes, and it's been sacred and worship, which is really much more of a foundation and basis of culture over prehistory and time.
Yeah.
Just for them to know that.
The
That's
thing
one.
the thing is, I think we don't have this knowledge. They don't teach us this because they don't teach us that our bodies are straight sacred or to worship them. Even I think it's a shame. It's a shame that you have a vagina and that you have a
Right? That's
it
right.
it's shameful. Sorry, not a shame. It's
Well, you have
shameful.
shame, you carry shame. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, that's why that's why I wrote a 400-page book on the vulva,
Yeah.
sacred display, to reclaim that, because my book is about Sheila gigs, which are erotic images on Catholic churches in the Middle Ages,
Mhm.
exposing their vulva. They're supernatural women. And, what are they doing there? I mean, it's so out there, but they're in all these churches in the United Kingdom, and really especially in Ireland. So I studied that, and then I followed that motif back through Celtic culture, classical culture, Neolithic culture, and finally to the Paleolithic caves, to see that that is a thread of culture. And that's like my TV show, The Goddess in Art, the oldest tradition in art. This is a foundation. This is the oldest tradition of these things. So,
Mhm.
but it was just natural for me, natural to the shape of my personality and interest, to be drawn to such things.
Yeah.
And I want women to know, because it's not an accident. It's been actively suppressed.
It has. It doesn't surprise me, no, that you did this research because for the first time this year, I saw an image of images of goddesses, and I could see how my body reacted. It had, I could see that my body just did something. I don't even know, opened up, or every time because I have a book of images, every time I open one, goddess, my body likes it.
My body likes it. Now, there's a sure foundation to guide your knowledge, right? That's something to ground yourself in. I
Yeah.
love that. Your body loves it. Your body knows. That's a real guide star.
But I do have to say, I forget about it. I forget about, and it's so easy for me to treat my body as not sacred, and not only my body, just things as not sacred in this society because they teach us to consume, even though I'm conscious and all of this. But yeah.
That's exactly. I mean, it's it's a process for all of us,
Hmm.
to love our bodies, because we've been taught to hate our bodies, and it's inferior. Like, even now, I was talking to a friend of mine. Now we're not unattractive enough to men. We have to have labia surgery to make our vulvas or our genitals more attractive to men. And it's insane. But it
Yes.
didn't just come from you. It came from all the pressure of the culture around you, the church, the school, the government, social institutions. It's all lined up against us.
Yes.
It's really based on violence and the oppression of women.
Yeah.
So it's no accident that you feel that way. So yes, it's a struggle, and hopefully you or your daughters that things will get better. I mean, it's better for me than it was for my mother,
Hmm.
and for my goddess daughters. But it's just something that needs to go the way of dinosaurs.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, so I only have one last question,
Okay.
but I don't know if you would like to share something before I do this last question.
I mean, is there something I want to say?
Yeah, something that maybe you haven't had the opportunity to share to in other interviews or conversations
What do I want to
or to
say?
young women.
I just love talking with you and what you're saying. You're like a beacon of light and a hope for us. I mean, shadows too. I'm like in the dark and light,
Yeah, I
but
have shadowed for
but
sure.
I think um, it's very gratifying to see a younger woman responding that way. That there's more hope for change with the youth. For different consciousness to come. And what do I want to say? I want to say that the whole world has soul. The whole world is alive. We are not machines walking through inanimate, dead Earth. Earth is just some dead thing ticking down till the sun supernovas and we all get burned to oblivion. No, the Earth is alive, and to as much as you can, and I'm talking to myself too, as much as you can to see the world in a relational way, that you're in a conversation with, we're having a conversation, but the whole world you can have a conversation with, and everything is sacred, every bit of ground.
I think it's in from what you said, it's like literally a new perspective, a new vision that I think everyone could introduce it as a practice, to see the
Yes.
world as more sacred. And like even I went food shopping before talking to you.
Okay.
And I was thinking, I'm not treating the food as sacred, like, or even making the conscious decision. Maybe I will buy more bio eggs, like eggs
Yeah,
that
right.
are better quality.
And that the
And
chickens are tortured.
yeah, so this in little things, like even treating well the table that I'm in, you know. Um, so yeah, thank you. Uh,
Yes, little and small,
yeah,
little and small and grand, my water bottle, my computer, that
yeah,
um, there's a relationship there that just because it is, I think I experience that as true,
yeah,
the life of that. And it makes so much more pleasure in your life to have connections and relationship.
yeah. Completely agree.
Okay.
Um, and the last question is a bit, I don't want to judge my question, my own question, but in your book, you talk about witches. And I don't know, just I think my inner child wanted to ask, do they actually exist?
Well, yes, I'm a
Yeah,
priestess. I'm a priestess.
yeah,
I'm a witch. I mean, I don't just say that to anybody. I wouldn't walk down the street saying that because, I mean, I feel safe to say it to you. But witches are just carriers of the old wisdom. Witches
hmm,
are connected with the cycles of the earth and knew, you know, herb lore and how to heal with plants, which is why the Catholic Church burned so many
yeah,
women, thousands, 100,000, a million, I don't know, that just burned all of them so that the male medical establishment was rising at that time too. But they were a threat to the power, that they were an alternate source of power and healing. So they were a threat to the male hierarchy of the church. And, they murdered and tortured these women. Anyway, I feel very angry about it. So first of all, just to say, they aren't women who are healers and helping people. No, they're demons. They're the devil. They're the other. So they were just murdered like that, tortured and murdered. So it's, but you see, you can't kill all of that, or all women, because then there'd be no life, you know. And the thread, even if it goes down into the roots, it sustains. It sustains. It can't be cut out. And now, with the resurgence, the return of the goddess in the 20th century, at our most dire time, at the ebb of destruction, um, she's come back. And so uh, those traditions still existed, but of course they went really underground. And now they're more above ground. And now there's more acknowledgement of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, first of all, it's all this knowledge and wisdom and connection. And, the devil and all of that has nothing to do with witches. That's just a psychotic element of Christianity.
Mm-hmm. That's how I was seeing it
Good.
before, until you explained to me right now what it was, what witches are. Um, thank
The
you.
women of power, that's when I say women of power. I mean, what does
Yeah.
patriarchy? They feel nature, women's sexuality, and for females to have power,
Yeah.
which
I
we do have. The power of your body. I mean, you create life.
yeah. Well, you were explaining all of this, my body was excited. I was like,
Oh,
yes.
good. So lovely to hear.
I was like, yes, it's in me. But it's a bit
Yay.
repressed. I can see that it's hidden. I don't know. I just
Yeah,
felt it in my body.
dangerous to the powers that be. It's dangerous to the oligarchy, to this concentration of wealth and power, uh, basically trying to throw us into a state of feudalism.
Yeah, literally.
It's better in France. I mean, I know you have your right wing and Marie Le Pen and all, but actually you're Spanish. But
Yeah, I'm Spanish.
um, it's pretty bad here. But hopefully, the tide is turning.
Hmm. Hopefully, hopefully. And to end, would you give me any book recommendations?
Well, you can look at the bibliography, my bibliography. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I would try and read some Maria Gimbutas, like The Language of the Goddess or The Civilization of the Goddess. Oh, here's a good book. I don't know if it's a book that I'm in. It's The Foremothers, the
Okay.
foremothers, the foremothers of women's spirituality, elders and visionaries. And it's different essays. I have an essay in here, Adventure She Has Brought My Way. And so you can read about all these women, and they're all short essays. This is
Mm-hmm.
really a great book.
Okay, Four Mothers.
And this is another great book. Now I have to pull it up. The Rule of Mars.
The Womb of Mars.
Rule.
Rule.
No, no.
Oh, wow. The Rule of Mars.
And this is essays by different women, about how we got there, and just different things about our current state and visions. So that's a good thing. Who else? I would read, Starhawk. Do you know Starhawk?
Yeah, but I haven't read her book.
Well, yeah, but also you can just connect with her. She has weekly podcasts. She's a
Uh-huh.
lot of things. I would look at her.
Okay.
And again, going through my bibliography, and just start Googling, goddess books. I mean, I think these are really great books. A writer that I really like, who's a feminist, but not necessarily goddess, is
Yeah.
Rebecca Solnit. Do you know her, Rebecca Solnit?
No.
She's fantastic. She has a book, Men Explain Things to Me. You know, anyway, that all that mansplaining, even if
Yeah.
it's a book she wrote and some guy's explaining to her, she goes, I wrote that book and you still can't hear her. So, but she writes a lot of contemporary essays. Rebecca,
Okay. Perfect.
SOL.
Perfect. Thank you. I really like your energy. I feel like I need more of this in my life, like this new perspective and more of a feminist point of view on things. I don't have it installed in my mind. In my mind, there's, you know, a patriarchal
Um,
construction, of course.
I mean, the other day I was talking to a friend of mine and saying, will I ever be free? I just feel it's layers of the onion. There's the external patriarchy, there's the internal one,
Yes.
blames us and criticizes us. Also, do you have any other female friends, or that's something that can enforce? Um,
Yes, I have. I have.
yeah.
I have female friends, and they're and the one I'm living with one right now, and she's very she's a feminist, but I think we don't talk about it enough. I think.
Well, I'm sure there's kind of goddessy people in Paris. I
Yeah,
mean,
for sure.
of culture. I mean,
For sure.
and
I
also,
will look to join any
go ahead.
club.
Huh?
I will look to for a community of women or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, and you have those museums in there.
Yeah.
Um, I was in Paris 2 years ago to go down to see the Paleolithic caves because I wanted to see that art.
Yeah.
It was something that I feel a passion about.
Yeah.
And then but we were in Paris. We went to Saint Germain. They have a huge Paleolithic museum there, and the Museum de l'Homme in France. I mean, in Paris. So there's museums you can go to see
Okay.
artifacts. But just look around for goddess groups, and I don't know, go to Shakespeare and Company and look, see what's
hmm I've
there.
just arrived to Paris, so I haven't had time, but I'm gonna do it.
I mean, I'm sure they're there. So it's good to have community. That's
Yeah.
the say to have community because we're sort of reared to be separate units that have not connection, and
Yeah.
we need connection. We need connection for the juiciness of our soul.
For sure. I do have to say that I've been quite isolated because I just moved and I only have one friend, so it's been a bit hard.
You
Uh,
speak French?
no, I'm learning. So that's
Okay,
a problem. But I haven't been much out of the cave. I've been scared to,
understand.
you know, but little by little. You've
Step by
motivated me.
okay, well, wonderful. I'm very. It's very gratifying for me to hear what you're saying. So, step by step. Well, then, what drew you to go to Paris?
Because I was in my little village and I felt like I was stuck, you know, and I needed to leave my village. And I had my friend here, and she was like, I have this room, you can come for 3 months, and then you can find something else if you want to stay or not, find a job. And I decided I want to stay, so now I'm in this, new adventure.
Well, here's to adventure. All right.
Yes. And also, I think because I'm looking for something. I don't know. I maybe it's myself. Um, and I was not connecting in my little village. It's not a very open space, I would say. And and I'm and I'm quite open. You know, I don't know how to explain it.
I feel what you're saying. And I also want to say that yearning is sacred. To have a yearning, you just need to honor that.
Yeah, I have a journey,
Courage.
literally.
I commend your courage. It's very brave what you're doing.
I know, I know. Sometimes I'm like, why am I here? What am I doing?
You had a calling to do it and you honored it. So,
Yeah, thank you.
well,
I'm gonna stop recording. One
okay.
second.